the fuck is going on? RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. Woo, bang. Get a fucking gun because they are trying to make big moves against one of the few saving graces that the world even has, and that is this American populace who have an opportunity to maintain their ownership of a firearm and to be diligent enough and understand what the fuck is going on in the world for us to save the world. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we have right now. And y'all are on the verge of fucking it up because y'all are so pussified and so comfortable in your ignorance that while you do not even know what the fuck is even going on, you allow them to convince you that danger means you should give up your protection that you would use against the danger, because you being unable to protect yourself is going to make someone else safer. Untrue. If it's so safe out here, tell the police to get rid of their guns because that's going to make the world safer. They know that don't make no sense. You can never say that to them. They will laugh you the fuck right up out of their fucking faces with that dumb shit. Type of fucking sisters that make at all whatsoever. That if you're trying to convince me that the world is dangerous, that public can be dangerous, and that this shit will happen spontaneously in any place at any given time, bro, you not gonna make me feel like I should avoid guns. This country have that response. Or you should blame yourself for being so easily duped by bullshit. What the fuck is up, Philly? What the fuck is wrong with y'all out there? Where they have some bullshit gun laws. Philadelphia is supposed to be one of the, I think it was the original capital of this country, and it is one of the, Pennsylvania is one of the original 13 colonies, if I'm not mistaken. So, how in the fuck is this place any kind of soapbox for gun control for anybody? Do you know where the fuck you are, Philly? Talking all this punk shit. What just happened? I just did an open carry yesterday. Blank faces on everybody. I get very little love and support like I usually do. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? People walking towards me on the sidewalk avoided me, bro. I don't never see that happen like that. They avoided me. Why? Because motherfuckers scared. The police never showed up, so motherfuckers ain't scared enough to call the police. And if they are, then what happened during that phone call? The police must have told you something. Because they didn't show up to talk to me about nothing. Why y'all out there acting scared like some bitches? This fucking Philly shit got y'all shook. Just like it does every single time they do this, they expect this reaction. I expect a reaction. Because y'all are dumb. Danger does not mean give your guns up. Or that you should expect that I give mine up. Shit is stupid. The Philly shooter, that was a fucking public shooting, what? Friday, Saturday maybe? Sunday, I don't even fucking know, but it was before the 4th of July. That way, during your Independence Day celebrations, you can ponder the idea that the Second Amendment was not meant for you, that it wasn't meant to protect you against government tyranny, because they never talk about that part of it, and how that is a forever endeavor, is to be on the lookout and stand guard against government tyranny. That purpose of this so-called Second Amendment never goes away. And it does not yield to the fact that some people out here might do some dumb shit with a gun, but I think that's their guy. This, he or she or whatever it wants to be called, because apparently that's what was going on. This was a transformer doing all of the fucking shooting. This is dumb. This motherfucker walked out of her house, whatever. They walked out of their home with an AR, a sidearm, and a bulletproof vest. Who does that sound like so far? Besides the he-she bullshit. Sounds like me, right? Sounds like my thing. I leave my house with my fucking AR-15 and my sidearm and my bulletproof vest often. right? They want you to fear that, but it's way too late. I've been doing this since 2018. 2018. I've been doing this. So way before C-19 hit, I was out here breaking that 6 foot distance rule. I don't give a fuck. I was doing open carries during the fucking pandemic, hugging people, not giving a fuck. A cop actually told me one day, "Don't be letting people hug you now. Get the fuck out of my face. What you gonna do about it? In a world like this, you're gonna warn me not to hug people? I'm going to extend the hug because I'm not scared. And whoever accepts my invitation to a hug and then does that, that's just gonna be what it's gonna be. A cop should have never told me, hey, don't let nobody hug you out here now. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that dumbass shit before I get mad, y'all are stupid. Y'all are pushing this shit to a point where people are going to stop fucking caring about being polite. Like, I've already stopped caring about being polite. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. When I'm offended and attacked in the way that I am when y'all talk about these gun rights and shit, as if somehow my rights are amendable, bro, you're not going to get a pleasant trait from me. You're not going to get that version of me, bro, because you ain't earned that shit. You got to earn that. And when you're going to be a dumb pussy or a stupid bitch trying to tell me what the fuck to do about my gun while you're actively trying to scare me about how random public violence can be, I feel so insulted. Man, get the fuck out of here. Who is the mayor of Philly? He a bitch. Whoever he is, he's a pussy. I don't even know his name. But he's a pussy, though. And I'm going to figure out what his fucking name is. Fucking idiot. Talking about the Second Amendment wasn't made to protect this kind of activity when he's talking about the public shooting. Man, the fucking Second Amendment wasn't meant to protect nothing but the government grip around gun rights. That's all it did, because it did not give me the rights. But what did it give me? A 250-year fucking fight about some dumb shit that these so-called founding forefathers are supposed to be so praiseworthy. They didn't save you. They didn't squash it. They put you in a 250-year fight because it shouldn't even be debatable. You know why it's not debatable about how many kids I can have? The government will never, at this point, they have not tried to convince me at all that they have any say-so over how many kids I have as a man. They don't even debate that. They say that we have a population issue in this country, and yet it's still, while not in just the country but the world, and not only do they leave it at their expressions, they do not make any attempt at all to control the population by telling me as a man what I can or cannot do with my reproductive organs. You know why? Because it hasn't made it onto the magical paper yet. Because what we know for sure, if something like that, while trying to use government muscle to dictate or control my reproductive organs as a man, I'm not talking about the abortion debate or none of that. I'm talking about telling men that they must get a vasectomy or something, or aim for a certain count of children they can father before the government can step in and say, hey man, no more. In order for them to do that, they have to make it onto the magical paper first, no matter how hard they want to talk about the world being overpopulated. It's not going to matter. They don't take that angle because it's not on the magical paper. When things land onto their magical paper, that means that it's up for debate. So something that seems so fucking obvious that they cannot dictate, because it is my natural right and responsibility for me to choose for myself how many lives I want to fucking create as a father, is up to me. It's not up to them, and they know they can't say nothing. If it makes it onto the magical paper, it won't matter how it got there or how moral it is for them to feel like they can choose for me when they know that they can. If it makes it onto the magical paper, it becomes debatable. It becomes debatable. Something that they can bring to your attention and then use their legislative positions to argue, debate, and possibly even control. Period. This is just a hypothetical. This is just the logistics behind it. Until it makes it onto their paper, they cannot talk about it, no matter how much they believe that it might actually be an issue or an angle that they can take to help curb a problem that they think they see. You got to make it onto the paper first. The Second Amendment put the gun rights that are natural, just as natural as it is for me to father life. It is just as natural for me to protect my own life and the life of the children that I do father. It's not up for them to determine how I do that. But you put it on a fucking magical paper, and now it becomes debatable. Y'all called it an amendment. You put it in the arena of debate when you do that. Don't be surprised when they fucking debate you, you fucking assholes. Stupid. Stupid. You got to fight for it because you put it in the arena of debate with them. Tell them to take it out of the arena. It's not in the arena no more. We don't need it to be a part of the Constitution, but because it's there, they think that they can debate it. You even called it an amendment. Y'all are fucking retarded. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get it out of the fucking Constitution, bro. That's how you fix this. Because when you do that, if they think everything is sweet out here because you've done that, then now you got an opportunity to show them once for all that you're not fucking playing about that fucking gun right bullshit, because it was never up to the Constitution, so we don't need it. The only thing they need it in the Constitution, so that it's up for debate. I need y'all to stop playing fucking stupid, listen to what the fuck it is that I'm saying, and then ask yourself if I'm making any sense at all. Tell them to take it out of the Constitution. Respectfully, take it out of there. As if to say that we're not going to make this no debate no more. If you want to talk about it, then come out here to the streets and do something. Because what we're not going to do is to debate it any further. And you're never going to give my permission that even if you make it onto the magical paper with your bullshit, you're never going to give my permission to come take my shit. The answer is no. If you went on paper, the answer is still no. And if you support the Second Amendment, but you do believe that if they put it on paper, it's not going to matter that they won on paper, you're still not giving it up, then you have to stand next to me when I say to get rid of this fucking shit on paper. Get rid of the magical paper bullshit. So we can get this shit cracking, because they think that it's sweet and it's not. They think because it's there, they can argue and debate, and if they win on paper, your heart will follow the paper. I've said absolutely nothing that is wrong at all about this shit. Every Second Amendment supporter that does not realize this, he's not as smart as me, and I might be willing to call him a bitch. How far you want to go? If he don't say this, he's not as smart as me. If he supports the Second Amendment, but he's willing to give up his guns without a fight as long as they can win on the paper, if government can win the government control on paper and say we successfully made it onto the paper with this idea that you do not have a right to protect yourself after all. If they make it that far, are you going to give your shit up? No? Well, then you're more like me than what you're willing to say or admit. So stop being a bitch and hiding behind the Second Amendment and just come on out here the way I did. And say that it's not going to matter if they win on the paper. Because we're already locked in where we are. We don't even want to talk about it no more on the paper. We don't want to file no more lawsuits. We're not going to debate this shit with you, because what it is that you want is not going to be legit even if you win the paper battle. I'm done talking about it. In regards to the Second Amendment, don't call me a Second Amendment advocate anymore. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. I'm actually against it. I think because of that, these motherfuckers think that they have a debate on their hands and that it's open for discussion when it's actually not. I need to be told that I'm wrong, and then I need somebody to quote me. Do a reaction video to one of my videos, break it down word for word what I'm saying, and then lay it out in a logical, coherent argument, word by word, how it is that I'm wrong about what I think about the Second Amendment and what I should be doing or saying to better support this gun shit if this is what I intend to do, because some way, somehow, what I'm doing is harmful or detrimental to the idea, and I'm doing us no great service whatsoever by saying and doing what it is that I'm saying and doing. I want to hear it. I want to hear it clearly, too. You better come with all your fucking ducks in a row, motherfucker, to say anything to me about anything. I cannot think of, not even the guys that I support, no social media Second Amendment advocate that I support is even on my level. Not even the ones that I like. In regards to what it is that I'm saying, if they cannot see what I'm saying, they're dumb. If they see what I'm saying but they won't say that, then they're trying to harbor and foster and reserve their commercial appeal so they can sell you shit and look like the popular savior to this fucking gun crisis that we got going on. They not that nigga. I am. I am the one, bro. I'm the one. Everybody else is full of shit. Everybody else is full of shit. Throw that fucking Second Amendment the fuck out and then tell them we have the guns, we're going to keep the guns, and when we remove this, what the fuck are they going to use as a reference to talk to us about anything? If we remove it, all of the gun laws got to go with it. You see how that works? If there's no Second Amendment, all the gun laws got to go too. Throw it all out. To what would it be a reference to? Huh? You goofy motherfuckers. What is it going to be a reference to if there's no Second Amendment? If you mean it, you don't need it. If you mean it, you know that's not the source of your right in the first place. If you mean it, you're going to fight for it when they try to talk that shit. If you mean it, then you're more like me than what it is that you're willing to admit. What are you waiting for? What are you hiding from? This fucking shooter in Philly supposedly had on a bulletproof vest, had an AR-15 with multiple magazines, and a pistol. They are painting a picture of what it is that they want you to be scared of. What else did they do with this story? They want to make you feel like the bullying that goes on against that community is the source of this issue. So now they want to curb what it is that you're saying. They don't want you to say anything that is antagonistic or demeaning to anybody in that culture, because you should fear what they're going to do if they're going to do this shit in response to being teased. The fact of the matter is, 65% of our fucking gun deaths in this country are suicides. What percentage of those fucking suicides are those guys from that community? A lot of them. This is statistically true. Period. You know who makes up a bulk of the rest of them? Fucking ex-military. They come back with the PTSD. They can't handle life after serving this country in that way. Does that make any sense to y'all at all, that they constantly promote the very activity they have no problem promoting and encouraging young people to get involved with the very activities that are a crime under any other orders by anybody else? It's a crime to do what it is that they have you go do. This is government sanctioned warfare, crime, murder. That's what it is. But they encourage young people to go do that shit. Go run and do it. Be proud to do it. Tell your kids to do it too. And if you die, that should make your kids even more likely to go do it. This is all the weird shit they say about military service that I don't have to fucking like. It's not dissing no fucking veterans when I say this. I'm telling you, I don't fucking like the fact that they got lied to and had their bravery taken advantage of by guys who they did not vote for, would not like or agree with a lot of the shit that they say, that there was some full disclosure about what's going on. All of that shit, I don't gotta like that. So in honor of the fucking troops and the veterans, I say, fuck whoever lied to them. Whoever lied to y'all, I hope they die for lying to y'all. I'm trying to stick up for you, bruh. I'm not dissing you when I say fuck the government. I'm not dissing you. So y'all need to calm y'all ass down about that, because I've had to deal with that lately. Somebody saying something that I said was disrespecting the troops. I'm the only, it's voices like me that are sticking up for them. Because whoever lied to them, I hope they get exposed for their fucking lie. And then I hope they go to prison for the rest of their fucking life. Or they get the ghillie. Or the fucking firing squad. For treason. For the bullshit that happens behind the scenes that leads to these wars that you are so fucking honored to fight for. Get the fuck out of here. They lied to you. You got fucking played. Now. And I don't give a fuck if you're a fucking veteran trying to stick up for the Constitution right now. And you claim to see these things that I'm talking about. You too, nigga. You got played. There's a critical point in your life where you weren't smart enough to see the fact that you got played. The fuck? I'm supposed to act like that's not true because it's you? Because you a vet? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about how many bodies you got. Or none of that. You're not better than me because you did that shit. You're not smarter than me because you think you know something. You got lied to. So what does that say about this honor you have about what the fuck you did over there? This story fucking tells itself. You got played. Don't act like you better than me. Stop doing that shit. Because you're not. Fuck out of here. They lied to you. And whoever lied to you, fuck them. If you're one of these vets that try to stick up for the Second Amendment, like you really standing up to that shit, if it has gotten past your intellectual fucking abilities to comprehend exactly what's going on, to the point that you don't realize that the Second Amendment is what's holding us in this fight, You're not smarter than me, bro. You gotta wake the fuck up. Don't be woke, but I'm talking about wake yourself up. There's a difference. If there's no Second Amendment, there are no gun laws. If there are no gun laws, they can't use a peaceful means to come to your door and present papers to you to say that without a fight, they expect for you to just lay down. Every single person they want to talk to about that gun shit, they're going to have to shoot or they're not going to get nothing done. That's what I think they need to know. You get nothing done unless you're shooting. Period. Because you're not going to hypnotize us with the magical paper to get us to throw our natural rights out with the Constitution when you throw it out on your terms. And what they're doing right now with the Second Amendment of the Constitution is a dragnet. They want to catch people in enough of their feelings, first of all, and enough of their respect for government, no matter what it is that government does. They want those two things to accompany your fear, so that when they say you don't even really have a constitutional right anymore to arm yourself, because we have changed that. It's called an amendment, and it has been amended, and now you don't have that. They want you to throw all of your natural rights and responsibilities and shit out when they throw that out. They want you to give it up without a fight, so that who's ever left that could not be subdued by the magical paper, by the fucking legal jargon that'll come along with that bullshit that makes no sense to me at all whatsoever. I understand zero of it. You got to jump a fucking intellectual hurdle and take for granted all of your nature in order to even pay lip service to their bullshit. I don't even hear them anymore. All I hear is blah, blah bullshit, to which I will oppose verbally first and then physically second if they want to take it there, because nobody has to back down to their bullshit. I say throw that Constitution the fuck out. The Second Amendment, throw it out of there. Throw the First Amendment out too, so that they don't attach legal shit thereafter to your bullshit to say this is in reference to your Second Amendment you're talking about. Gun laws, background check, restrictions over state lines if you have a short barrel rifle, whatever the fuck they call it. And they call this shit a short barrel rifle. Why? They gave the definition to which I can't debate. Because the Second Amendment Constitution. Now I can't debate all this other shit. This shit is a hypnosis. It's a magic spell. The Constitution of the Second Amendment is a magic spell. Put your heart there so when they throw it out, your heart goes with it. Y'all can fall for the shit if you want to. They have you by the balls. If you mean it like I mean it, tell them to throw it out, because you know nothing changed in here and in here for you. Nothing changed for you. You put the ball in your court when you do that. You take control when you do that. And then you volley the ball back on their side of the fucking net when you say, well, now that we got that clear that you can't talk about it no more and we don't need that Second Amendment, we want you to stop talking about it. The only thing you got left now, government, is to shoot if you want to get something done, because we don't care anymore. But they want to back you into a corner where they tell you, you shoot if you got anything else to say, because we're moving forward. They will dare you to be the one to shoot. When they say, there's no more Second Amendment. So now that we squash that on paper, we're going to peacefully come to you. If you start a conflict or whatever you want to shoot, we will shoot back. We will surely win. But just let it be known that we came in peace with the fucking magical paper, and you're the one that had a fucking problem. The people have spoken. You don't have a Second Amendment right anymore. This is what they want to get you to do, so that you just fall for that. They need to get people to fall for it so that they decrease the numbers of people that will fight them. I'm telling them, bring the fight on. I'm way ahead of the curve, bro. All this little petty bullshit playing that y'all doing in the in-between ain't doing nothing but piss me the fuck off. And giving me the opportunity to buy more guns, because that's what I'm doing. Stop falling for the bullshit. Is making y'all look dumb and crazy. And you know what they do to dumb, crazy motherfuckers? They beat them into submission and then they enslave them. That's what they do. You watching them set up all of the pieces to play this chess game with you. Not just about the gun thing, but about other stuff. That's why so much of the other stuff is constantly moving around. They amp up one thing, and then they amp up the gun shit, because they need to keep the gun fight over your rights at a certain point while they march these other things about. Because if they fall behind on the gun control, while they moving these other pieces around, they might show their hand while you still have your gun in yours, and then you will have the power to stop them. So they got to keep you chill enough that while they're reaching for the guns, they're also reaching for this other stuff, hoping that you agree with them that we just got to let these guns go. But if you think that them convincing me somehow that I should get my gun up is going to stop the mass shooter, you're out of your fucking mind. You're ridiculous. You have the mind of a young, stupid child, actually, because a child can see through this easily. I can find an 8-year-old kid that if they listen to the logic, and I break it down step by step by step, a child would tell you that even if it sounds like a nice, sweet dream that nobody had a gun, there's no reasonable expectation that gun legislation is going to keep another mass shooting from happening. Because already gun laws on the books in Philly didn't stop this shit. Gun laws and fucking fines, fees, and imprisonment attached to the idea of murdering somebody. None of this shit has stopped the shooter. 2 reasons why that won't happen. Number 1, criminals are criminals. They're never going to listen to you anyway. That's why they are criminals, because they don't listen to the laws. Especially when they have mass murder on their minds. No law on the books is going to stop them once they've accepted that. How did you accept that in your mind if that's what you want to do? But it being illegal from all angles is what's stopping you where you go. I want to do this, but I can't because it's illegal. I won't because it's illegal. Do these gun haters even listen to what the fuck they are saying? This is mind-blowing to me. That you motherfuckers want to be respected as grown adults, but you cannot find the logic in what it is that I'm saying enough to realize that if you care about the kids enough to want to stop gun violence, that this is the lane that you take with the expectation that this is going to work. Shut the fuck up. Fuck. It's not going to work. You know what is going to work? Making these guys feel like, whether it be police or whether it be the fucking public, everywhere they go, there's somebody with a gun waiting to be the hero, because we cannot stand the idea that a bad guy will come out here and get his shit off unchallenged. That sounds weird to me. That makes me want to shoot some shit. If a bad guy think he's going to do that shit in front of me, it makes me want to shoot at him. Just to show the government, just to show the gun haters, and just to show the fucking mass shooter that nobody's fucking playing with you, and this is how you get the job done. With a gun in your hand and a big heart in your chest. This is how you get the job done. This is how you tell the next mass shooter that he can't get his shit off, and he gonna die for that shit, and then we're not fucking playing. You blow this motherfucker out his shoes on sight. When he starts shooting, he gets off 2 rounds, and here come the hero returning fire. It should happen that fast. You get 2 shots, bro. 1 shot for what the fuck was that? And a second shot to be like, yup, that's shooting, and then I start shooting at you. You get 2 shots, and you go down. Good luck, motherfucker. That's what's supposed to happen. The way the gun haters will wish for it to happen is that he gets off 1 shot, and then another, and then another, and then people start running, and people are crying. And the kids are crying, and nobody knows what to do, and then somebody calls the police, and everybody else is running and crying, and now we're at 15 shots that have been fired. And still, nobody with a gun is on the scene yet. Because everybody is giving their guns up. Is that what you want, you fucking gun hater? You fucking retard? Because there's nobody, there's no real person outside of the fucking crisis acting that is being put forth on the fucking news. Void of that bullshit, the acting, the playing of the games, as a real victim of a public shooting. And they will tell you that if they listen to one of my fucking videos to see how amped up I be about the idea of protection, wishing that I was on the scene of one of these fucking things, that it would happen in front of me so I can prove to y'all how this is supposed to go. They're not going to hear me and wish that I was not there to save their kids, you asshole. They're going to say, Trey, you that fucking fired up? I wish you were there, Trey. If you mean that shit, then I wish you were there, motherfucker, because my child is dead. Stupid. That's what they would think. How is that not what they would think? Are you telling me that one of these victims that got a fucking dead kid will say, Trey, we don't want you to be there. I'm glad that you wasn't. I'm glad that it happened in the way that it did. That the response time with somebody with a gun to stop the shooter, I'm glad that it was this many minutes long and not 2 seconds because Trey was there. You don't want me to be there? Tell the world that you're glad that I wasn't there. Say it like that and stop saying it with your fucking fake ass crying and y'all ain't got no tears on your face because you're actually acting and I can see you. I'm an aspiring film director. I would yell, cut! Because your performance is not even believable. Stop the fucking bullshit, you jackasses. I'm tired of teaching y'all how to be adults, how to be responsible, what a genuine response of care is supposed to look like. No victim, no surviving victim of a mass shooter will listen to me and say that he wished that I wasn't there, he's glad that I wasn't. If there is one, tell him to talk to me. I want to hear one of these guys say the response time for police to get on the scene to fucking stop this shit was 7, 9, 15 minutes. And I'm okay with that because I would rather be that way than for a guy like Trey to be there the second the first shots were fired. Who wishes that? I need to know. And this question needs to be asked on a national scale. Put this shit out where everybody's gonna see it. CNN, man, fuck CNN. Pump my fucking page up. Nobody knows that I'm here. All this time of doing this shit, and I got 2,500 fucking subs. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. That's crazy. Y'all not gonna share my shit? You tweaking. Y'all bugging, bruh. How long does it take to share the shit? How long? It's a few buttons that you click. I don't need a special caption. You don't gotta shout me out. I don't even care if you hit my Cash App. I do not care. Why the fuck is 5 million people that would care that I'm here don't know that I'm here? Y'all are ridiculous, man. This is so strange to me. Philly, what the fuck is up, Philly? What is wrong with y'all, man? What is wrong with y'all, man? Somebody should have been shooting at that guy as soon as he started shooting. Period. There is nothing else to say. Anything less than that, you don't care about the victims. So stop pretending like you do. Because you should be saying that it will be best that somebody nearby had a gun and started shooting. Shortly after he started shooting, somebody started shooting at him. And then guess what? In the Philly shooting, there's another shooter. There was a second shooter. You know who the second shooter was? A man that picked up a gun in self-defense and was trying to return fire at this motherfucker. Police called up to the second shooter, realized that he was shooting in self-defense, did not charge him for shooting. He tried. Somebody tried. That's good. We need the attempt. If my kids were ever someplace and something went on and no grown-ass man in the vicinity had a gun to do something, I'd be disappointed. Especially if something happened to one of my kids when I wasn't around because of that. I'd be disappointed. Y'all got to change y'all perspective. There's something wrong with y'all, and that's okay. I told a line for you pussies. For every one of you pussies that won't do what needs to be done, I will buy another gun or another round for you. I'll buy another round. I'll buy another box of bullets for the fact that you won't protect yourself and you'll let this fucking government that can't even pass their own background check themselves, you'll let them convince you that you should give your guns up. They got a long history of drug trafficking, child trafficking, international as well. It's inside these fucking borders with children and family services. They some child diddling fucking pedophiles. And I'm tired of y'all playing pretend like that's not the case. As soon as it even looks like that might be the case, all hands should be on deck to try to solve that riddle. Solve the mystery about that. Because it's too heavy for you to ignore. If there's a conspiracy behind this, you need to know that. Because you cannot be okay or be virtual signaling to me next week like you some fucking tough guy, like you're a real American, when you know that child trafficking might be an issue inside the child protective services in this country, and you will do nothing to confirm that for yourself if it's true or not, and then to rally against them. If you won't do that, but you know you've heard of the idea, you can't say nothing to me. You're a pussy. And you're pretending to be smart, aware, and diligent, and virtuous, and you are none of those things. Shut the fuck up, and you better stay the fuck away from me, too, with that pussy-ass punk shit. All that idiotic shit fucking grinds my gears, bruh. Blood be boiling. Cannot believe how much of a pussy a man can be to claim to be virtuous, doesn't understand child trafficking, supports the fucking government, and wants me to give my gun up. You a pussy. Where you at? Somewhere being a pussy. Tired of it. Fucking idiots. Dumb cowards. The fuck out of here. They don't want you to say nothing about the LGBTQ community. They don't want you to have no guns either. You're not going to blame me for what another man did. Period. We all know that. If we can do that, every white person guilty. For whatever racist thing I can fucking point to at any given time, you're all guilty. From this day forward. Now. Huh? Cops, you're all guilty of the worst, or whatever the worst of y'all have done. The fucking, double agents, the cops that are actually selling the drugs and doing all this other shit, gang banging and all type of shit. You're all guilty as of today. Disarm United States Police Force right now. And we already have the evidence, the proof, the reason why. Show me one corrupt cop. Show me one crooked cop. That's the reason. So move forward to disarming all the police right now. If you're not going to do that, don't talk to me about my gun shit. It's that simple. It really is. I've never been sexually aggressive to a woman who did not ask me to be that way. I always need permission. But if you like choking, I might choke you. If you get into that shit. If you with that freaky shit. Other than consent, I have never harmed a woman sexually. Never have, never would. I don't want to be feared in that way. I don't think that's the best way for me to get sex. I want to be respected, understood, and desired. I don't want to be feared. I've never been like that to a woman. I never would be. There's way too many willing women and way too much harsh punishment and shame and moral degradation to be had by doing that. I could not and would not ever do that. It's actually a turn off. The turn on is when a woman wants me almost more than I want her. That excites me. Okay? We got that clear? Okay then. What one man does is not going to make me feel like I should join a fucking sex offender registry to show my allegiance to the women that have been harmed by sexual deviances, because I want to be seen as a virtuous man. So I will get on the sexual registry and let you guide me into a safe space where I can and cannot live in the city, and I will allow you to track me with the probation or bullshit. No! Why? I didn't do that. You see how that works? Because nobody would even expect for me to actually do that either. You wouldn't even expect for me to. You will gracefully allow me to fucking stake my fucking claim, and you will back me in my endeavors when I say that since I have not done those things, I should not and will not ever be on the sex offender registry. You would understand me when I say that. If you won't understand me when I talk about this gun shit, especially when you see the protection I can provide for myself and for my family and for you, if we ever find ourselves engulfed in the grips of a fucking tyrannical government, which I think this is what we are doing, what we are dealing with, a tyrannical government. Yes, sir. That is what it is. When I say these things in regards to the gun shit, you got to back me up just like you will back me up when I say that I do not deserve to be on a sex offender registry, and I will not go. I will not go. RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. I didn't rant it enough. Fuck Philly for that bullshit. Somebody should have put the shooter down. The shooter has to be suicidal to do this. Every public shooter is a byproduct of the fucking suicidal tendencies that this country tends to have. 65% of our gun deaths in this country are suicides. 100% of the mass shooters are suicidal. We have a suicide issue, and you need to address that, because then you will stop the mass shooters. Anything less than that, especially when you're talking to me, when I am not suicidal, not a fucking sex offender, not a mass shooter, never hurt anybody in fucking 42 years of life, when I know you're not fucking talking to me when you talk that dumb shit, don't push your government overreach onto me. I gotta explain this shit to y'all. Kiss my dick. RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch.